Hey, good morning, students. So, yesterday we have just started the course Mathematical Methods of Physics and some basic things of the complex analysis we have studied yesterday. Today also we are going to study some basic things which you have already studied in the SYBSc. So, let us go for the next basic things. I think yesterday we have seen the properties of the complex number. That is addition of the complex number, subtraction of the complex number, multiplication of the complex number and division of the complex number. Hope you have understood the last topic which you already studied in SYBSc, and today we'll go ahead for the power and roots of complex number. How to find out the powers and roots of complex numbers. Powers and roots of complex numbers. This topic also you have studied in the SYBSc, but these are very important topics to understand the next some advanced topics which you have not studied in the SYBSc. So before proceeding to this powers and roots of the complex numbers, let me revise. The complex number is indicated with a letter Z, and this is equals to x plus iy, where x is a real part of the complex number, y is the imaginary part of the complex number, and I is called as a complex number, and it is equals to square root of -1, and I square is equals to -1, right? Now let me write some more formulas. What is the rectangular form of the complex number? Z is equal to x plus iy is itself a rectangular form of complex number. So I can write here, this is a rectangular form of complex number, right? Now 2-3 more forms you already studied in the SYBSc. I can write this, Z is equal to r e power I theta. This is called as exponential form of the complex number, isn't it? Right? And I need Euler's formula. What is Euler's formula? This is the exponential form of complex number. What is Euler formula? Euler formula, e raised to I theta is equals to cos theta plus I time sin theta. And one more formula I need, that is De Moivre's theorem. Let me write here Euler formula. You can refer the SYBSc books to understand these basic things, right? And what is the De Moivre's theorem? De Moivre's theorem states that cos theta plus I time sin theta raised to power n is equals to cos of n theta plus I time sin of n theta. So this is De Moivre's theorem. Isn't it? What is the polar form of complex number? Polar form of complex number is equals to Z is equals to R into cos theta plus I time sin theta. This is a polar form of complex number, right? Now we need all these things to go for the powers and roots of the complex numbers, right? So let me rub out all this and then we'll proceed ahead for the powers and roots of the complex number. Now to understand what is the powers of complex number and roots of complex number, let us consider Z is equal to x plus iy is your complex number, right? So Z is equal to x plus iy is my complex number, and in order to find out its power, I need to take its power just. So let us take the power z raised to n and x plus iy raised to power n. So in the rectangular form you cannot find out its power x plus iy raised to power. Of course you can find out, but you need to use the power series. But rather than using power series, here you can use other forms. So you can instead of writing in a rectangular form, you can write it in terms of exponential form. So in terms of exponential form, this is equals to r e power I theta raised to power n. So now this becomes more easier once you take the powers of r raised to n, e raised to I theta raised to power n. So this will give you r raised to power n, e raised to I n theta. So this is a simpler way to calculate the powers of the complex number, and calculation of the r raised to n, e raised to I n theta is more easy. So we are not going to take the examples of powers of the complex numbers because this is easy one and we have already studied the SYBSC. We will solve some problems to calculate the roots of the complex number, because I have seen this in last some years. Even though students are coming in the postgraduate course, but still they are not able to find out the roots of the complex number. So that's why I am stressing on finding out the roots of the complex number. Fine. So what is this r? R is a magnitude, right? And this is equal to square root of x square plus y square. Yesterday we have seen this. We have studied this. And what is theta? Theta is called as argument of z. And what is this argument of z? How to find out the argument of z? So this has multiple values. So argument of z is equal to theta plus 2 pi k. It has multiple values, right? Where k is equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to infinity, right? Now what is the definition of argument of z and magnitude r and all? You already studied in the 12th standard. I request you please revise the topics. Fine. Now let us go for the powers of the complex number, right? How to find out the roots of the complex number. Now in order to find out the roots of the complex number, let us again study, let us again consider a complex number z is equal to x plus iy. This is your complex number, right? And let me write this complex number in terms of exponential form. So exponential form is r e raised to power I theta, and let us find the nth root. So let me write here, to find nth root of z, what should I do? You can take out nth root. So z raised to power 1 by n is its nth root, and it is equal to x plus iy raised to power 1 by n is equal to r e power I theta raised to power 1 by n. Isn't it? Now this will give you r raised to power 1 by n into e raised to power I theta by n. This is a simpler case. Got it? So you need to do this in order to calculate the nth root of the given complex number. Clear? But here the problem is that the value of the theta is not constant. Fine. Value of theta is depend upon k, and for one complex number there are multiple values of argument, and therefore the theta is equals to theta plus 2 pi k. So while calculating the nth root, you should always consider the value of the theta, that is argument, in terms of theta plus 2 pi k. Got it? So above formula will change now. So z raised to power 1 by n will become r raised to power 1 by n into e raised to power I plus theta plus 2 pi k by n. This is very important. Please remember this. Got it? So this is the way of calculating the nth root of given complex number, right? Now you can modify this and you can write in terms of cos and theta. So you can write this exponential form in terms of a polar form. So this will get z raised to power 1 by n is equal to r raised to 1 by n into, now let me write in the square bracket, e raised to I theta can be written as cos theta that is cos of theta plus 2 pi k by n plus I times sin theta, that is theta plus 2 pi k by n, right? And once the values of cos theta and sin theta is known, you can simplify the case and you will get the nth root of the given complex number. Fine. So this is the theory about the nth root and power of the given complex number. Now let us go for the example. We'll study one or two examples and then I'll give you some homeworks to you. You can post out the given homework on Google Classroom. Right? So let me write this z raised to power 1 by n here, because I don't know whether the lower part of the board is visible to you or not. So let me write it again. So this is r raised to power 1 by n into bracket cos of theta plus 2 pi k by n plus I times sin theta plus 2 pi k by n, right? Let's go for the example now. And example, find out the cube root of minus 8i. Minus 8i, its cube root. I think this is visible, but I will write it again. Minus times 8i raised to power 1 by 3. So what is your problem? Find cube root of minus times 8i. This is your problem. And cube root is minus 8i raised to power 1/3. Now how to find out the nth root or cube root? You should use the theory of nth root finding, right? And in order to find the nth root or cube root of minus 8i, you should write the given problem in terms of x plus iy. Now this, let me say, let z is equals to minus 8i. Let us think about its cube root later on. First, let us assume that this number is a z, it's a complex number, and this number must be in terms of x plus iy, right? If it is not in terms of x plus iy, you should write it in x plus iy form. So it is minus times 8i, it is not in the form of x plus iy. So let me write it in terms of x plus iy. So this I can write as 0 minus 8i. 0 minus 8i. Now the value of x is equals to 0 and value of y is equals to minus 8. Got it? Now this will become more simpler for its cube root. Now you can take its cube root. So z raised to power 1/3 is equals to minus 8i raised to power 1/3, and this is equals to 0 minus 8i raised to power 1/3. So minus 8i raised to power 1/3. How you can write it? Now you can write it in terms of cos theta and sin theta. Now to get it in terms of cos theta and sin theta, you should write this minus 8i as a 8. Let me write it in the form how I can write it? 0 minus 8i. So I will write this 8 outside, and into the bracket I can write 0 minus I. Got it? This will be more simpler, and then raised to power. So this will be 0 minus, so 8 raised to power 1/3, right? 8 raised to power 1/3 is 2. 2 cube is 8. That's why I can write 8 raised to power 1/3 as a 2, and into the bracket 0 minus I raised to power 1/3. Fine. So now minus 8I raised to power 1/3 is equals to 2 into 0 minus I raised to power 1/3 here. Now we have to simplify this case only. Now in order to simplify this case, that is 0 minus I, you should find out the values of cos theta and sin theta, so that for a particular value of a cos theta, you will get its value equals to 0, because we are writing this in terms of cos theta minus I times sin theta, na? Or plus I times sin theta. So you should look for the value of cos theta equals to 0 and sin theta equals to 1, because I is already there. So for what value of theta you are getting cos 0? Right? Cos 0 is equals to 1 and cos 90 is equals to 0. So for theta equals to pi by 2, you are getting cos pi by 2 is a 0 and sin pi by 2 is 1. So we got the value of theta equals to pi by 2. Got it? And therefore I can replace this 0 minus I raised to power 1/3 by this formula. I will simplify here 0 minus I and then think about its root, 1/3 root, right? So I can write this as cos of pi by 2 minus I times sin of pi by 2. And if you simplify this, you should get this bracket. So cos of pi by 2 is 0, as cos 90 is equals to 0. Minus time I sin pi by 2 is 1. So you will get minus time I, right? So this is the simplification of this bracket, and I can use here now. So this is 2 as it is, and into square bracket I can write cos of pi by 2 minus I times sin of pi by 2 and its root now 1/3. Got it? Fine. Now what is the next step to implement? Next step to implement is you should write theta in multiple of 2 pi k. 2 pi k by n. Now here the value of n is 3, because you are finding out the cube root. And therefore your theta will become here equals to pi by 2 plus 2 pi k by 3. Hope you have got this. Now enter this value here instead of pi by 2 only, right? So you will get minus time 8 pi 8I raised to power 1/3, and this will be equals to 2 into bracket cos of pi by 2 plus 2 pi k by 3 minus I times sin of pi by 2 plus 2 pi k by 3. Got it? Let me rub out some part here, because fine. So now you can simplify this, and after simplification you can put the values of, while simplification you can put the values of k equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So at least you can find out the 3 values. So if you put the value of k equals to 0, you will get the first root equals to 2 into bracket cos of pi by 2 plus 2 pi. K is a 0, so this will go on vanishing and you will get pi by 6 only. So cos pi by 6 minus time I into sin pi by 6, right? And this you can write in terms of exponential form now. Exponential form is cos theta minus I times sin theta is equal to e raised to I theta. Now being negative sign here, you will get e raised to minus time I theta. So this will be 2 e raised to minus time I theta, that is I pi by 6. This is its first root, right? Now to find out the second root, let me say this is a Z1. Now Z2 second root will be 2 as it is into cos of, now put the value of k is equals to 1. If you put the value of k is equals to 1, here you will get 2 pi. So pi by 2 plus 2 pi by 3. Pi by 2 plus 2 pi, here you need by 2. This will become 4 pi. So 4 pi plus pi, that is 5 pi by 2 by 3. That is 5 pi by 6. This will become 5 pi by 6 minus I times sine of 5 pi by 6. And in exponential form, this will be equals to 2 into e raised to minus time 5 pi I by 6. Got it? Now let us calculate the third root. So third root Z3 you will get by putting the value of k is equals to 2. If you put the value of k is equals to 2, here you will get 4 pi. Now 4 pi by 2, because here you need to equate the denominator, and therefore 4 pi by 2 you need to multiply by 2 to the numerator also. So that will become 4 into 2, that is 8. 8 plus this pi, that is 9 pi by 2, that is 9 pi by 6 is the next root, right? So 2 into bracket cos of 9 pi by 6 minus I times sine of 9 pi by 6, and this will be 2 e raised to minus times 9 pi I by 6. So these are the three roots. What are the three roots? I will write here. 2 e raised to minus pi I by 6 is the first root. Second is a 2 e raised to minus 5 pi I by 6, and third is a 2 e raised to minus 9 pi I by 6. This is the next root. Got it? Hope you have understood this problem. We'll solve such kind of a problems in next video. I will give you some homework to you. Based on this problem, you can solve at home. Fine. So let me write the problems for practice to you here. Once you solve these problems, you can post it on Google Classroom. So the next problem is root 3, problem number 2, root 3 plus I raised to power half. That means find out the square root, right? The third problem is 1 plus I root 3 and its square root also. Fourth problem is obtain the cube root of I. Obtain cube root of I. Fifth is 1 raised to power, that is cube root of 1, and sixth one is cube root of minus 1, right? So these are second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth, that is 5 problems. 5 problems are for your homework. So hope you have understood how to find out the roots of the given complex number, and with this we'll stop with this video. Next time we'll solve some more problems and we'll go for the next topic. Thank you.